Zoom zoom!
Here we are. Right, I'm going to move fairly rapidly today because I came to a conclusion that I'm going to take this flywheel off, which takes the Borg and Beck clutch. So I'm moving away from the original premise. I was going to use one of the gearboxes that's not set up for the Borg and Beck clutch and try and use the Borg and Beck clutch in it. I'm going to move away from that. I'm going to change the flywheel. I'm going to put in one of the flywheels with the friction surface, right? And then fit the gearbox that's appropriate to that clutch. So the skinny plate with no friction surface on it, and the pressure plate with the friction surface on it, and the flywheel with the friction surface on it. I believe all the flywheels are the same. I'll take one of those flywheels off, compare it to that one when I take it off, and we'll use the best. I think I have two to choose from, right, that have the friction surface, and we're going to pick the best of those flywheels. I think one of them is pretty messed up. We'll use the best one with some, hopefully, material on it and good teeth, and we'll fit that instead of this flywheel. So come back to you in a second as I get set up. Okay, so I think this is the best of the two flywheels that I just had a look at. We will look at them more in just a second. I have no wrench that fits this big box spanner thing. I wondered if I would ever have a use for it. Well, lo and behold, this is a use for it if it's strong enough to actually turn this. I don't know. Soon find out. Yeah. Need to put something in there to hold it in place, don't we? That's an old-fashioned idea, a box spanner. We'll see. I can do it without breaking my knuckles. Yes. Took a bit of force, I can tell you. What we don't have in that other flywheel, you'll have noticed, is a washer. I seem to remember it should be a lock tab of some sort, but I can tell you this wasn't. This is just a regular washer. Let me just have a good look at this. Excuse me if I'm blocking your view. There is a keyway here, as I kind of suspected there would be. Does it just pull out? Do I need a puller? I think I need a puller, don't I? It's on a tapered shaft, I would imagine. And this is going to pull out. I can absolutely go look at the one that's on the other engine and see if it's a tapered shaft. Let's move you and you can have a look too. So sorry to be dancing around here, but I think it's going to be good in the long run. Educational, if you like. This is loose, as I said before. I was turning it over with that starter on there without even thinking about it. And I think it's just sitting there. So if it is on a taper, this one wasn't, you know, tightened up to go on the taper. So let's just have a look at it. Yeah, it is on a taper, see this? It's on a taper. There's a keyway, a woodruff key it looks like that's in there, and it's a keyway. This is beautiful flywheel. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that's brand new, but I don't know any better, so I better not say that. All of that engine just looks so beauteous, man. And look at how, I mean, you can still see the machining marks on this. I think it's a brand new flywheel. It's a real shame not to use it, but I'll do some more research into the old Borg and Beck question. But right now, yes, I need a puller to pull this one. The one that I just took the nut off of. This one, see where the light is shining on it. I think I need my puller to pull that out. Let's see if we have that. I believe there's several ways of doing this. With my light. Yeah, the cheater's way is to just bang it. Plastic hammer I'm using. Gives me a good look at the teeth anyway. I think if I kept on doing that, it would eventually loosen off. I don't know that for a fact. I'm making it up. The other way is to put a piece of metal across there, a couple of bolts. These are threaded holes for this express purpose. It means fabricating a bit of steel because I've not done this job before. I have a hub puller here. Can I cheat and just get these little nubs onto those bolts there, those two bolts, and just pull it off using this? Can I? I don't know if I can. Is that too much of a cheat? Yeah, I still think I need a bit of metal because I can't get them onto the bolts, can I? I don't think I can do that. So I still need a piece of metal across here. And if I'm putting, you know, if I'm cutting a piece of metal with a hole in it, I may as well make one properly, right? I don't know. I kind of hoped the cheater's way of doing it would work. This, you know. But it's not. I think you actually do need to pull it out. I guess that taper is quite a taper it's on there. Okay. So, something that I can hold a nut here and screw into the nut. No, the nut would have to be in the top, right? I'll hold the nut on the top, screw through there, push against that, and pull against that. Okay, a piece of metal to stretch across there and drill 3 holes in it, I guess. I don't think one of them needs to be threaded. I'll get back to you. Okay, I know this is silly. Silly Billy. Cause I just made it out of wood. And the holes are too close together, it's just going to shatter the bit of wood. I know it is. But then maybe I can use a bit of wood for a template for the metal. I did get to tighten it up quite a bit in my first trial run before I put your camera on. And this bolt popped out. I guess I didn't get it screwed in far enough. I'm going to try again. It did actually put quite a bit of tension on there before this bolt popped out, right? So I just tightened those bolts up and try it again. I'm pretty sure the oak's just going to break. I put quite a bit of tension on it before, so all depends on how much, I guess, force you have to put on there. I didn't do anything fancy. I just don't have the hardware. I just put a nut in behind this, tightened it up a little bit, and I'm not even holding the nut in place. This is quite a bit of tension I'm putting in this bit of wood. I'm just going to keep on going until it fails. Then I'll try a piece of metal next. There's the wood beginning to split now, I hear it. Maybe if I give it a dunk now, under tension. The wood's about to break. I just heard it split. Thank you. Might have moved there. No idea. Bring it back to where it was. Going at an angle now, the thing, the bolt. Hear the wood? It goes. There's the wood that was broke. So let's take it back off again. See what the damage is. It was kind of inevitable that it was going to break, right? It has to be metal. I don't even know if aluminum would work. I don't have many scrap bits of metal around the workshop, believe it or not. So anyway, did it even move? No. I don't know if you guys can see if that's moving or not, but I cannot, and it doesn't look to me as if it's moving. Still as tight as ever. I cannot see the wood rough key, but that doesn't mean anything. So this was the setup, right? It was just this nut and that bolt. So let's take this off and we'll use it as a template for some piece of metal. The only thing I seem to have is bed frame, and I don't have drills that will drill through that bed frame. It's really, really tough to drill through. So I'll try. Okay, we're back. Jeez, I don't know. This is, I don't know if this is going to work. It's such a Heathcliff contraption. I still don't have good metal to use here, so I'm going to try with this, which is a bit off the engine stand. This is also not working, guys. It's on the edge of the thread, I think. It's just clicking over. Yeah, okay. Still not working. What I'm trying to do is take it off again. Because I thought maybe I could use the hub puller. Now I've got this bit of metal on here, can I? I get this out of here. I don't know. So that was another failed idea. And I think I just have to spend another 3 hours or something fabricating a piece of metal to fit this. I'm sure you can just buy something. I can get 2 teeth on that, almost get 2 teeth on it. 3 teeth. I don't know. It's doing something. It is doing something. It's going at an angle though, of course. Stop that from moving without causing kerfuffle. So. Am I pulling that off, or is it just going at an angle? I mean, it is going at an angle, but can I put enough force on it to pull it up? No. Guess not. No. The answer is no. Come on. Did not just come off. Wow, bent that bolt. I got a bit of force on that, man. Still not loose. Wow. That is crazy, isn't it? You need the right tool. You need the right tool. These makeshift tools, you ain't gonna crack it, man. Okay, I need to make something or buy something, but this ain't gonna work. I wonder if there's actually something on eBay that you could buy, a flywheel puller, you know. That ain't it. I can tell you that. That ain't it. I hope I haven't buggered up the threads. That ain't moving, is it? No, not even the slightest little bit. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I can see the woodruff tree for sure now. Okay. We need to get that out of there. Which means a bar across there bolted in properly with the proper bolts, and then a bolt through that. It'll need to be another day now. I'm sorry you didn't see that, but I was fiddling about. You can see my little Heathcliff, whatever the expression is. That's actually a blade out of a plane, a wood plane. And then I did what one of the guys in the web forum said, put this big lever behind it, and I just tapped it with the hammer with a little bit of leverage. After tightening up this nut and bolt jury rigged puller thing, made it a wood plane blade. I'll take it apart and show you what I used. So just to prove it did actually come off, here we go. And we need to look out for that woodruff key, which is where exactly? I need to turn this round. I ain't got the leverage to turn it around. But right underneath here, I don't know if you can see it, is the woodruff key. It didn't fall out or anything, so it's still there. And what does our flywheel look like? It looks adequate. Okay, good. So here's the two flywheels. That's the one that would take the Borg and Beck clutch. You can see it's just a machined surface here, it's metal. And this is the one that takes the traditional old-fashioned clutch. What I've heard is there's a little bit of life left in this clutch lining, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it. So that means we can use our two traditional gearboxes with the, I believe these are exactly the same. Do I need to count the teeth? I don't think I need to count the teeth. I think the two flywheels are interchangeable. We'll soon find out, right? When I try and fit it. Okay, over now. Oh, I was going to show you what I did with the wood plane. Here's my jury rigged hub puller. Not really a hub puller, is it? It's a piece of metal with a slot in it, and I'm taking this with my phone, so I've only got one hand. I'll just try and take this off and I'll show you where it came from. I'm managing this. You can see two thick bolts that kind of screw into the threads in the flywheel. And there, I can't actually get this off because the end of the bolt gets buggered. I've bent this blade, but I should be able to just bend it back again. I'll take that nut and bolt out of it, And then I'll put my wood plane back together again. So that's the blade that comes out here, right? So, you know, there's the other bit of it. And of course this bit goes on top. Bam, 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 and that's my wood plane. I'll put it back together again. We've got both hands and I'll show you. Just in case any of the rest of you are interested in my messed up methodology here. That's my wood plane. I just happened to be looking for a piece of metal that I could use. And I thought, oh, what's wrong with this? So, unscrewed that little screw. I'm not sure how to put this back together now. That's the piece of metal I used. That's the blade from a wood chisel. A wood plane, I should say. Right, so I'll put the 3 bolts in there. One with the nut on the other end. Screwed in the 2 big fat bolts into the flywheel. They were the wrong thread, but I got a few threads on them. And just put that back together again, something like that. I'll do it in a minute. And there we go. And then that wee sucker goes in there. I need to put that wee screw in. And that's the wood plane back together again, kinda, sort of, right? So I'll show you it in a minute. So that's my wood plane back together again. It was this big blade that I used. It bent it, but then it was easy to straighten back up again. Just because I didn't have any other sheet metal that I could bore out to make a hub, you know, a pulley extractor thing. I did find stuff on Harbour Freight, 19 bucks. And I did see a really nice hack where you use an air chisel, also, which I don't have. And you put the nut back on the end of the crankshaft, and then you just put your air chisel on the end of the crankshaft and go brrrr, and the vibration is some kind of consonance or resonance or something like that set up, and it shuggles it right off the flywheel, right off the tapered shaft of the crankshaft. Worth thinking about, I guess. So now the next spot is that flywheel has the brand new flywheel. Unfortunately, this brand new flywheel I'm not going to use anymore, right? So I'll put that on one of the other engines with, I guess, the export engine. Can't remember where the Borg and Bick clutch came out of. I'll put the new flywheel on there, and we'll recondition this one with some carb cleaner and put that together with the gearbox on this engine, right? And then hopefully that engine will be ready to pop right back in again. We're going to obviously test run it in that bed. I'll put some packers underneath so you know the gearbox won't be fouled by these engine mounts that's been amended on that chassis. So we'll pack it up a little bit higher, put the gearbox and the clutch and everything in here, make sure it all works with the engine running. And then we'll put it on the hoist and put it back in my car, right? So that's the next couple of steps. As a matter of interest, I posted a picture of this on the VSCC Facebook page, and the guys immediately came back and said it was an MG, TD or TF gearbox. And they even went so far as to say this middle part here is actually generic off Morris cars and stuff. Another 2 parts are particularly MG. I did some research, and believe it or not, if you modify the drive shaft, maybe it did this. If you modify the drive shaft and the gearbox mounting, and remember these 2 things as a modification of that chassis, then you can actually fit that gearbox to an Austin 7. But you need to modify the drive shaft, which he might have done, right? So this chassis might be modified to accept that MG gearbox. You need an adapter plate between here and the MG gearbox. Really interesting. So I might play with that a little bit. I did say in the webpage that if anyone wanted this, if they wanted to trade some Austin 7 stuff, I would do that. But it's piqued my interest now, because that's a nice looking gearbox, right? I mean, it's at least renovated if it's not brand new. It can't be brand new, what am I saying? But you know what I mean, it's refurbished in some way. So that's an interesting little project, right? Maybe try that, I don't know, at some later date, not right now.